Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. Okay guys, today we're speed building a house called the Tuscan Vineyard, and I'm actually really excited because I didn't see that many vineyards available for the Sims 4. Okay, so I'm not so sure if you guys know, but vineyards were a thing in The Sims 3 and The Sims 2. They were really popular builds. You'd see a lot of them actually in Mod The Sims or in The Sims resource, and I'm really surprised not to see that many in The Sims 4, and I think the lack of terrain tools really kind of disabled those types of options. So I kind of was really interested to do my own version of a vineyard for The Sims 4, so here you go. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer before we move forward. I stayed up all night to finish this video. Like, the first quarter of the video I filmed yesterday, and then the rest I filmed tonight or last night or whatever, and I did stay up all night. So if my commentary is a little bit whack, then please give me a break. I'm really stressed out. I did make it a point to still follow my channel schedule, which is to kind of get these speed builds up during the weekend, and I'm glad to say that it looks like I'm gonna make my schedule. I know that the day this comes up is probably on a Saturday for you guys anyway, but it's already Sunday here for me, so I just kind of wanted to get this over and done with. And yeah, anyway, it's a Tuscan vineyard. Tuscany is a really romantic place. A lot of couples go there to celebrate their honeymoons and stuff like that. This house is actually really interesting. It has like the trellis type of thing, which is the first time that I've actually done in this game, and the trellis is actually connecting the house to another kind of outhouse or a guest house type of thing. Well, it's technically a guest room since it's only like a bedroom in it, but I don't know, I really like how if you look at Tuscan homes, it's very separate. You know, there's a lot of different outer buildings and stuff like that in Tuscan architecture, I guess. And Tuscany is in the center of Italy, by the way, and it's famous for being romantic and such a romantic setting, I guess. You know, it has a lot of countryside. It's one of the world's biggest wine producers, and like it's just really romantic, and I don't know. So yes, I did try to actually channel in that romantic vibe. And I don't know, the end result actually turned out really well. Originally, I was a little bit apprehensive to make this speed build because I wasn't sure, because I kind of was originally intending to do a more contemporary build this time, since I did make a lot of themed builds for the past couple of weeks already. I wanted to do a contemporary one, but I could not miss out on the opportunity to be one of the first people on YouTube to actually make a vineyard type of thing. So there you go. So yes, I am spending quite a lot of time on the exterior, as you guys can see. Lots of decision making and stuff like that. The end result is really awesome. Trust me, you guys, it's really exciting. You guys probably have a good idea of how it looks like based off of the intro video that I made. So yes, right now we're centering the lot. It is centered because I wanted the vineyard plots of land, or like I wanted the plots of farmland to be like around 360 degrees around the house itself, so that wherever you are, you can see the plants and, you know, the vines and stuff, which is quite nice. And also, many of the living spaces in the house actually don't have doors themselves. They lead directly to the outside, which is a technique that I have actually done before in other builds. One of my most successful real-time house builds, the Villa Capra one, actually features this technique where I used archways instead of actual doors, which is really fun. It kind of channels that really strong Italian climate, I guess, and kind of highlights the climate as a feature because Italy has amazing climate. Anyway, one really interesting thing about this build as well is that all throughout the house, I only used one paint for both the interior and the exterior. So the interior only has one paint. The exterior also has one type of paint as well. I don't know why. I just felt like it's okay. You know, it's not really that big of a deal to, you know, the effect that I was going for didn't need multiple types of paint to be achieved. So yeah, I chose this really bright yellow color because it reminds me so much of just Italy in general, you know, just very vibrant color and just a lot of passion and a lot of, you know, spice, I guess. Anyway, interesting thing, there's a typhoon outside my house right now, and it's really funny because it's really, really loud. I know it's kind of a natural calamity, but everybody is used to it by now. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Kept me up all night, which is great because I had to work on this, but it's really, really loud. Like, winds during typhoons reach, like, I don't know, maybe 200 kilometers per hour, so it's kind of intense. But once again, we're kind of used to it. And if you guys hear kind of craziness on the outside of my house, then that kind of explains it. But anyway, I had to use the enable ignore gameplay unlocked entitlement cheat to unlock these sofas, which are kind of nice. The thing is, honestly, I keep giving shade on this for The Sims 4, but honestly, I hate the selection of items that we have so much, especially for the base game. We have very, very limited items, which is kind of sad because you would want to have a little bit of diversity, right? And so yeah, these were the sofas that I felt like are most appropriate to the Tuscan look. And they also look really comfortable, by the way. They look like they're really soft and stuff, unlike the other sofas that we have in game, which look really hard. These ones actually look really comfortable to sit on, so that's that. Also, Tuscany in general has a very limited color range or color palette, I guess. It's basically earth tones. That's pretty much it. So I had a very good variety to choose from, but then again, it's just earth tones. So I did kind of go for a very provincial type of look. And I think the earth tones for the interiors and actually the exteriors as well really helped. And yeah, one thing that I love using are these lights that came with let's see here. What did those lights come with? A perfect patio? No, actually, cool kitchen. It's either cool kitchen or perfect patio. Those lights are so awesome. I actually threw them in to kind of give a little bit more of a contemporary edge to this house, because otherwise it would look really period or like historical, which I did not want because I've done a lot of historical builds already, and I feel like it's high time for me to build something contemporary. But I really, really just was so excited to build a vineyard. So yeah. Right now, we are working on probably my favorite room in the house, and it is a combination between the kitchen and the dining room. As you guys will see, it doesn't have any partitions, and it kind of flows seamlessly as well. There's a bar area where there are 2 bar stools, and then it also leads to the dining room, and there's no partition. I really, really like what I did here, because I was able to do some really interesting shapes with the kitchen, which I never really do that much. Oh my gosh, the wind outside my house is crazy loud. But anyway, yeah, once again, I was able to do some really interesting shapes with the kitchen. It was really fun. And I would absolutely love to live here just for the kitchen. It's probably one of my better designed kitchens because it's not a square. Usually I just go for a square type of look, but this time I did try to kind of push myself a little bit more and make something that was unexpected. So yes, one thing that I also noticed, actually, looking at what I've done for The Sims 4, is that the feature that I use a lot that I never give credit to is the cabinets. There is a wide variety of cabinets in The Sims 4, and I think that is one of the best features that they've ever added, because I use it all the time. I know that a lot of people also use it all the time to make things look built in and stuff, but not a lot of people give it credit. So, I'm giving it credit now where credit is due. The thing that I love about the cabinets is that you're not limited to using them in kitchens. You can use them in bedrooms and living rooms, even in toilets, which is quite nice. So yes, also the dining room has a very nice square shaped table as well, which is a little bit unconventional for a table, but I think it's really nice, and I think it does fill in the space really, really well. And one thing that you guys will also notice is that it took me forever to actually furnish this house. If I actually kind of went chillax on the furnishing, it would probably be a little bit more faster, the speed build. But the thing is, I kind of had what I had in mind for the people who owned this house was kind of like an elderly couple. I guess not elderly, just a middle-aged couple, I guess, who are living their dream in Tuscany, in charge of a small wine producing business. And there's a lot of personal stuff to it, and there's a lot of personal touches as well, like personal memorabilia, tons of picture frames, and of course planter boxes and flowers and just pots and pans and stuff like that. It's a lot of personality basically in such a small space. That's why it took me a really, really long time to do this furnishing, because I really kind of pushed my A game with all the clutter and stuff, which was quite fun to kind of, discover the personality of the people who own this house in my head, and then kind of translate that into something that is tangible and physical, which is kind of fun. I love looking at this kitchen / dining room area. It's so fun. And yeah, it's just so much fun. Also, probably one of my favorite plants now are these sunflowers that I use a lot. You have to unlock them, but I believe if you download this house, then you don't need to unlock them. But those sunflowers are so freaking awesome. I don't understand why they're locked. I kind of wish that they were already available. So yeah, I'm about to yawn here, so anyway. Okay, so let's see here. Once again, adding in a mountain's worth of clutter. There's so much clutter, it's kind of crazy, but then again, it was a really fun thing to build and stuff like that. One thing that I actually wasn't able to incorporate that I probably should have is a basement, because this is supposed to be a vineyard, right? And wine ages its best if you place it on a basement. So that was something that I kind of wanted to incorporate, but I was like, okay, I didn't want to go too overly ambitious, since, I just wanted it to be a chillax type of house. And if I added a lot of stuff to it, it would be overworked, and that's not something that I really wanted to do. So I did keep it simple. You will notice that the house itself is really, really small. I tried to be as compact as possible, because I kind of wanted to maximize the garden for landscaping and terrain painting to make it look like it has some farms and stuff. So yeah, right now we are working on the master bedroom, and I love this one bed that has the sunflower pattern. I love it so much. I use it quite a lot in my kind of farm builds. This bed also comes in a blue color that has the Vincent van Gogh painting, which is so gorgeous. If this room was blue, I would have probably went for that bed cover, but yeah, this is more appropriate, I guess. Plus, I love the sunflowers. It makes me feel like it makes the room feel like a breath of fresh air, if you guys get what I mean. So it was a really fun addition. And yeah, once again, I'm incorporating a lot of items that you would normally have to unlock. These leather chairs and the bed in question also needs to be unlocked as well. And yeah, once again, adding in a crap ton of clutter to make it look, legit, and to make it look like people actually invest a lot of time in this place and put a lot of love, I guess. And of course, there's a lot of plants as well, in terracotta pots, which is quite nice. I don't know, every time I see terracotta, I immediately think of Italy. or like just the Mediterranean in general, since these clay tiles usually like play a big role in the architecture. And over here, I kind of was experimenting with the paintings and stuff, but I felt like it was a little bit overwhelming. So, you know, I did spend a lot of time kind of playing around with the paintings, but I did end up sticking to just one sunflower painting because I kind of felt like that was enough already. You know, the bed itself is already a showpiece, and it was fun. Anyway, right now we're working on the hallway for the upstairs, and by far, for sure, this is probably the most elaborate hallway that I've ever made. It is so full of clutter and just random doodads and stuff, which is kind of crazy, but once again, it kind of like, you know, stays true with my original intention of making this house feel as lived in as possible. So I did incorporate like a crap ton of just random knickknacks and stuff. I keep saying that, but you guys will see there's a lot of stuff. So that's that. Anyway, yeah, this shelf has a lot of random things on top of it. You can easily replace the items as well. If you guys collect things with your Sims and stuff like that, you can easily replace the items and, you know, play some collectibles. And one interesting thing that this house has is actually a walk-in closet, which is not something that I would usually do, since I would usually run out of space before I can consider having a walk-in closet. But we have one here. You know, we have this, by the way, this house has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It only has 1 full bathroom and 1 powder room, but it has a walk-in closet because I feel like that would make it look a little bit more special. And, you know, I mean, other than the owners, I think the people who would live here are just guests, I guess, you know, so it's okay. Definitely perfect for retiring couples and stuff. So yeah. One thing that I was a little bit sad to see, I guess, I mean, not really sad, but I kind of wish that I made this bathroom a little bit bigger, since you guys will see in the walkthrough or video overview later on that it does look a little bit cramped, which is kind of sad. But I mean, the bathroom looks really luxurious. Actually, it has a huge bathtub, has actually a good amount of space and stuff. So, but yeah, it has a huge bathtub, which is quite nice. The Sim can use it in case you guys were a little bit worried about the fact that it was intersecting many of the items that we have. Yes, the Sims can use it. I did test out this lot, which is quite nice. One more thing that The Sims 4 doesn't give enough credit is the fact that the Sims basically can use most of the items and stuff, just even if you use a lot of move objects. And, you know, I really, really like that. You know, they can find their way in, they can squeeze their way to the tightest space and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun. And over here, I'm just adding in some more cabinetry to kind of contain some more personal items. Ooh. Okay. So right now we are working on the office area, I guess, and I had to unlock these items over here. Most of the items here have been unlocked, and I really, really like using that one desk area, or just that one desk. I use that in my lighthouse build, and I don't know, it's just really fun to use. Actually, I also use it in my Victorian apartment. The thing is, I felt like it was really important to add in an office area, since this is a vineyard. The owner, since he's kind of a little bit more of an elderly person, he would have people working for him, you know, like he would have some tenants working on the fields and taking care of the vines and making the wine, processing it and stuff like that. So that is the room where he would accept his tenants and stuff. So that's that. And then over here, we are just placing in some lights. And then the powder room was, once again, I was kind of a little bit sad not to include a shower at least, but I didn't want to go over the top. Once again, I don't think people in Italy are that particular about taking baths. I'm not sure though, but we do have 1 bathroom upstairs, and I felt like that was enough considering the permanent occupants of the house would only be using the upstairs anyway, and then the bedroom on the downstairs, which is actually on a separate house, is intended for guests. So yeah, once again, throwing in a crap ton of clutter. Having a lot of trouble placing the clutter items, just because I didn't want them to be random. I want them to be well thought out, and I want them to be lovingly placed where they are. You know, when people live in a house for many decades, they kind of treat it as a member of the family, and that's kind of my point of view over for this one as well. And then over here for the outside, we have a barbecue area, which is so fun. This is literally what I have in mind every time I think about Italia, and I don't know, just the hospitality, and I don't know, just the nice people in Italy. Every time I watch travel shows, you know, the travel people always get invited into like some family get together and stuff. I think Italians have really strong family values, and I think a barbecue place is perfect to showcase that. You guys can see me struggle with the plants here. I spend so much time with the plants and stuff like that, but once again, hashtag perfectionist. But yes, in many travel shows actually show the Italian spirit, that they have really strong family values, and this is a place where I could definitely see, you know, a huge Italian family, an extended family, kind of just enjoying, you know, the late afternoon dinner barbecue type of thing. It's really fun. There is a trellis on top of this patio area, and I will be placing plants on the trellis, so keep an eye out for that. That will be the last thing that I add, and I almost forgot to add it. You guys will see me later on. I was so ready to end the video, and then I forgot to add a trellis, or like I forgot to add plants on the trellis. So I'm just like, okay, the plants need to be there to complete the look. I'm glad that I didn't forget it though, which is kind of nice. So yes, and then yeah, pretty much just looking at things from a nighttime point of view to kind of see whether we need some lights. And the lighting looks amazing, you guys. Considering the fact that we have such a huge garden, I think the open patio really kind of makes the house more special. Who would use the dining room if you have a patio, right? Ironically, though, the patio area does not make use of perfect patio, which is kind of weird. Anyway, right now we're working on the guest room, and you guys can see it doesn't have any doors, which is kind of a theme that I have, especially for the ground floor, except for the bathroom and the office area. Those are the only two that have doors on the ground floor. And then over here, I'm just trying to match the items and stuff over just to be a little bit more consistent. Also, it took me forever to figure out the placement of the mirror, just because, I don't know, it just felt really awkward to me. So I did experiment with a lot of different options for the mirror, but I did stick to a diagonal location for it, which is okay for me. So yeah, every time I do these builds, please keep in mind that I think about how you would play the house and the way you would kind of the perspective you would have for the house and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, right now we are working on the outside, which is so exciting. And then right now we have some this is actually probably the most elaborate terrain painting that I've done in my builds. Yeah, I also tried to put in a gate, but I was like, okay, never mind. That's not worth it because we didn't have a fence anyway, so why put a gate? Anyway, like I said, this is probably the most elaborate terrain painting that I've done, just because it was so hard to actually make it look like a legit vineyard, because usually vineyards would be placed on a slope or something like that, but you know, we don't have any terrain modification tools to make hills and just even to make elevated plots of land. So it was kind of annoying. By the way, I edited some of the things out. I noticed that was not supposed to be edited, but for some reason, rewatching this, I noticed that the part where I was furnishing the I noticed that the part where I was furnishing the guest room, some of it got cut off, but you guys didn't miss that much. Plus, you will see a lot of the guest room anyway later on, so I felt like I just wanted to address that because I did not edit that on purpose. I feel like I accidentally cut it because I wasn't paying attention. Hashtag no sleep. It's already 10 a.m. by the way, you guys, so I was up working on this since like 12 midnight or something. But it's okay. I'm not complaining. I'm just giving you guys a little bit of perspective. Anyway, one thing that I really, really like about The Sims 4 is that the terrain actually feels like actual terrain paint. It looks like blotches of paint, which I really like. I had to work extra hard on this because I remember terrain painting in The Sims 3 was much harder than it is in The Sims 4. I just like the brush in The Sims 4 that much better, so that's that. And yeah, right now we're making these streaks of land that are going to form the vines. Now, also please keep in mind, you guys, that I did not put any real plants on these plots of fields just because I felt like it was a little bit too much. You guys can actually put some grapes. If you have the patience for it, you can actually fill these up with some grapes and stuff to make it look a little bit more realistic. But I noticed that if I actually placed some plants, it would lag up the game too much, especially for low-end computers. I would have probably placed plants if I knew that everybody had the same type of computer as I had. But I mean, it's okay because I think it still does communicate the effect that I was going for really well with like the terrain paints themselves only. So it's okay. Anyway, you guys will see here in this particular plot of field how much OCD I have because I literally changed that freaking so many times. It's kind of hilarious. I will actually go back to that one plot of field later on because I felt like a different orientation for the stripes that are supposed to be the vines would be better. So yeah, you guys will see me do a little bit of variety when it comes to the stripes. There we go. We're back to it. And pretty much I will be going for some horizontal stripes from how we're looking at it. Just because, I don't know, I felt like it complemented the house really well and it kind of drew attention to the house as well. Which is quite nice. Once again, I have to commend the brush, which is quite fun to use, if I do say so myself. It does look like I'm painting, it looks like I'm blotching some paints, which is quite nice. I keep saying quite nice, like I have nothing better to say, but once again, OCD, I believe this is the final, thing that we're gonna do because I'm just like, okay, you know what, it might not look like it's perfect, but I'm good with that. Okay, there we go. And then the last piece of farms, this really long vertical horizontal, this one is actually perfectly straight, so that's kind of fun. Once again, a lot of variety with the farms. And then pretty much you guys can see me like hop in and out of my Windows browser there, which is kind of funny. This was the point in time where my hands were literally numb, cause I have been working on this for many hours. I think it's almost 3 hours in total. Of course, I wasn't able to record it in one sitting because that would be impossible. But pretty much most of the terrain painting and landscaping have been recorded together. And at this point, my hands were like so numb. It was like, I was like, okay, the pains I go through to actually make a YouTube video. And I actually love myself for it because I really like the outcome. And I think that's the important thing. Creating art has a lot of sacrifice to it. And I think if you're not willing to put hard work, then there would be no payoff, if you guys get what I mean. So, so much shade though. I don't know who that was for, but yeah, it's just basically a lot of effort and hard work and also a lot of passion as well. So, yeah, anyway, I was able to use these, I don't know, these orange plants, what they're called. I was able to use them quite a lot in this build. I felt like they did tie in all the different intense earth tone colors that we had, so that's nice. So yeah, the funny thing is, I feel like those plants were originally intended for a more tropical location, but whatever. They work really well with our setup here in Tuscany, quote unquote, just in Oasis Springs. But yeah, and I feel like the landscaping did actually complement the farm areas, which is quite nice. I feel like it kind of made the farm areas look a little bit more three-dimensional, even though it didn't have any like, you know, actual plants. It did make it look three-dimensional, which is quite fun. And of course, we have to have some cypress trees, which is kind of an icon of Italy and stuff like that. I did add a bunch of those as well. And once again, I'm doing a scan of the house, trying to incorporate some other trees, which just didn't work out. You know, it's okay. I didn't want to force things that weren't meant to be. And the last piece of furniture that I'm actually going to add are these benches. And then we are going to do some lighting now. And believe me, you guys, this place looks amazing at night, especially with like all the different landscaping plants and stuff illuminated. It looks very, very beautiful. Once again, super, super romantic. You guys can even convert this into a hotel and stuff if you wanted to. You know, anyway, once again, the last thing that we're gonna do are these trellis things, which I almost forgot, but I'm so glad I actually ran down the video, or like the house to see which ones needed to be done. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the commentary part of this house building series. We're gonna go ahead and actually cut into the floor plans where you guys can see, okay, so right now we're looking at the floor plans, all first and second floors of the house, and you guys can also see the layout of the vineyards. Really, really fun build, especially with the landscaping. I feel like I'm definitely improving on that side. But anyway, that is going to be it for my commentary for this video. Once again, please don't forget to hit that like, favorite, and subscribe button if you guys had fun watching this video, because it really does help out the channel a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you guys to appreciate the rest of the video. Once again, you all have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.